Hey, you're about to enjoy a stream that I did just recently. The product didn't come out so great, but full disclosure, that isn't the reason I took it down from Twitch. I actually showed a directory of everything I'm working on, all laid out live on Twitch, and I didn't want to do that because there's some stuff in there that's I didn't want to spoil. So there's a little jump cut near the end, and I apologize for that. But I do want to document the struggle, and it's not about pulling it down from Twitch because of that. It's about pulling it down from Twitch because of not revealing stuff that I'm working on that hasn't been announced yet. So enjoy the stream. Hey everyone. I think you can hear me. I think we're good. Says that 7 of you are in here now. It used to say that I was not online, so I don't know what's going on with that thing. How's it going? So I was a little bit of a scramble here for me to get going. Steve, I will not tell your boss. Although I don't know if your boss is monitoring your internet traffic. If he's watching, I hope he's a fan and welcome. He or she. So yeah, I was a little bit of a scramble here to get going. So I didn't really have anything. I was like looking through like my old Essential Fantastic Four omnibuses for like a good Jack Kirby page to color, and all the Jack Kirby pages were like super intense. So I was like, if we're gonna do that, we got to get it flatted. And I know you guys want to see me work on some pages, so we're gonna back burner that for now. And kind of scrambled and just was like, I don't know, Google Jim Lee, gray pictures, high resolution. And we kind of came up with something. We're doing a Nightwing. Before we get into all that, just a heads up on the stream, I'm probably not going to be streaming this weekend. And bad news, Steve, I am your boss. So yeah, I just wanted to mention this just because it will affect the stream and how often I'm on. This weekend, we've made an appointment with the vet to put De Niro down. He's gotten so thin, and he's starting to kind of like struggle to get up in the morning, and it's hit the point where we're kind of making the decision. And yeah, it was tough for me to be away at Comic-Con and have my fiance handle him by herself. It's just turning into too much work for one person. It's really sad, and if we get into it too much, I'm gonna get emotional. Getting a little emotional right now. But so yeah, unfortunately that's gonna happen. So if Monday or Tuesday rolls around and I'm not streaming, it's not because I don't want to. It's probably because I don't want to be a downer on stream. It's all right, guys. It really is okay. He's 13. He's an old boy. We gave him a good long life. We'll be okay. It's just gonna take a little time. Anyway, I don't want to get emotional. Today we're talking about. Here's the sketch, by the way. Here's the sketch, and it's not huge. It's 500 by 600 at 72 DPI. We're going small. We're going real small. I'm still working on my coffee, by the way. So maybe we cut to Nightwing a little early because I'm still working on the coffee. But yeah, I just got back. Like I said, I was at a con. I was at MegaCon Orlando. It was really good. I'm excited to talk to you guys about if you follow my Twitter feed or you are following on YouTube, I posted, some stuff that I got. Yeah, I know. It's hard to see your pet suffering. Yeah. It's like mixed emotions. Thank you guys for the support, by the way. But it's mixed emotions because like on the one hand, it's like, I don't want him to suffer, and like I care about that. But on the other hand, it's like I don't want him to go either. And the toughest part is that it's like it's not really like a black and white situation that like he's dropping weight like crazy, which means his energy level is like not high anymore, and he's like being tough to take care of. Like, he needs 24-hour care. And so it's just like, but he's still kind of like all there, if you know what I mean. Like, he's still totally with it. So it's tough to, oh, we are making the wrong kind of selection. It's tough to make that decision, because it's like he's there, he understands, but at the same time it's like he's also like wasting away, and it's like I don't know if he understands that or not. I don't know. We've already talked about it too much, but let's talk about Comic Cons, because like I said, I was just at and by the way, when we work on this, we're actually going to work on this. Are we in RGB? We're in CMYK. All right. So we're going to work on this a little bit different than we normally do. I kind of want to tinker around with how Tamara Bonneville colors. Tamara colors in a way that uses a lot of layers and a lot of masks, layer masks. So we're going to try that out with this Nightwing. So we're just kind of like putting down the flats version right now. I'm going to talk to you about my impressions at MegaCon. There's some things that I did that I remembered to do because, you know, I'm old hat at a con. And then there's some things that kind of like blindsided me. And then there's some things about like booths and stuff that I did not realize before. Or maybe I realized, but I didn't quite, like the moment didn't crystallize in such a way for me. This is a very, very gritty, very low-res Jim Lee sketch, so, you know, let's be forgiving with these non-precise flats. I think we just gotta separate Dick Grayson from the wall here, and then we're all good. So I don't know what selection we're making. So at the show, there was one thing that I did in previous shows that I did not remember to do with this show, which is something that I would recommend to every single person out there who's like ever thinking about doing conventions, and that is like make a business card that has just social media stuff on it. Like if you've got an Etsy, if you've got a Gumroad, if you've got a Twitch channel like I do, if you've got anything at all, like put it on there. Put your Twitter handle on there. And I would say create the card that you want to direct your audience to, all the places that you want to direct your audience to. So not necessarily like your email and phone number, but like your Twitter handle, your Instagram, like all those kinds of places. Take that card then and drop it. Like I bag and board all the variant issues, and I noticed when I was taking out all the bagged and boarded variants that I had, that like the old variants that I had my old card in them. Like just take the card, slide it into the bagged and board variant, and leave it in there for somebody when they get home, when they open it up. Put your social security number on them, everything. Yeah. What's up, Walter? Yeah. So I was like, I got to the con and I forgot my business cards. B, like this is the first con of the season. Like it's been a while since I've done cons. So like to me, MegaCon's always like the dry run. Like, okay, what did I forget? What did I remember? How do we do this again? That kind of thing. So yeah, you should absolutely take everywhere you want your audience to be, everywhere you want to direct them to. If you want to like upsell them in the future, you have an Etsy store, put it on there. And then put it in like a bagged and boarded comic book so that they can take it, They don't even know they're taking the like little advertisement. And, you know, put some cool art on there. Like, make it interesting. If you make it interesting, then like they feel like you can almost make it like a, like my goal is to almost make it like a tiny 3.5 by 2 print and then like info on the back kind of thing. So that way, even if they're like, oh, this dude stuck his business card, he's trying to like upsell me, it's like, oh, he put a little thing in here for me. That's cool. Like, it turns into that, you know? All right. We're kind of there. Is Nightwing's, are Nightwing's batons, they're the, this is the old costume. This is from 2003, as you can see. I can't remember if Nightwing's batons are a different shade, maybe? Maybe they are? We'll say they are. Yeah, we can tweak it a little bit. This is a super low res image. We're gonna get better. We're gonna get better than this. Hey, Kate, in the future. We're just noodling around. So, okay, so we got, this is flats. We're gonna do layer from background. All right. These are flats. So the way that Tamra colors, and this is line art, is that she like puts down a color for shadow, puts down a color for highlight, and then uses masks to make sure. You should make them rave glow sticks. You think they're just black-ish? Yeah. Yeah, we should. I think for visual clarity, we should probably tweak the sticks. Just make them glow sticks. So yeah, so I forgot to drop business cards in there, and also my business cards are now outdated because I have a Twitch and a YouTube channel that I would like to direct people to. So I took first thing I did this morning was, today's kind of like was kind of a weird day. I didn't have a whole lot going on. I think it's because like so much happened in the last couple of weeks. So I took the opportunity to like update some of my convention stuff. Even when I'm not working, I'm working. And so I made new cards. Like the old cards had old Helheim stuff on them, which Helheim hasn't come out since like 2015, 2016, I think. Probably 2015. So it was good to update. They needed an update. Put the coffee away. Oh, here's the other thing. A lot of like guides and stuff online will be like, here's the, you know, like banner stand to get. One of the things that I think is like incredibly underrated, get these. Get a brick of Post-its. Like, every single thing on your table should be 100% labeled like with a price on it. Otherwise, you will be fielding questions that's like, how much is this? How much is this? Even if it's got a price on it, like you're selling comics at cover cost, you're still going to want to put a price on it. There's something that happens with conventions. Even when I'm not working, I'm working. That feeling. Yeah. There's something that happens at conventions where, all right, let's figure out, before we jump into that, let's do the mood board. What are we doing for the mood for Nightwing? Should we the way Tamara does it is she has like shadows and highlights, and those are separate layers with masks. I'm not sure if she does like a separate layer of like tweaked flats, if that makes any sense. Like, we want to do Nightwing kind of at night. So, like, I don't know if we should just, like, fill a layer, drop the percent, and then kind of like tool around. This is kind of what we did with the Gavin piece to kind of make everything blend in a way. Do like an overlay. Maybe we can actually kind of like tweak the flats from here a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of working. We're gonna do mood. Let's do shadows now. So we're gonna pick a color for shadows. Yeah, you'll start with that one person who points at the post-it with the price and asks how much it is. Yeah, or the is this free person. Yeah, you like to leave the price. You like to leave my price of my stuff so I can sell it to them before the brain shuts off about the price. Yeah. Also, you got to keep in mind, Walter brings up a good point. You're going to be sitting there for a while. Like, there are pitches that I've run through a million times, and somebody will ask me on Sunday, what's this book about? And I will be like, it's like, God, what is it? It's like, oh, it's this thing, you know? Oh, my caption still says that? Here, we can tweak the caption. Let me drop into the editor. There we go. There we go. Thank you for the heads up. Yeah, tweak the thing. Yeah. Or pointing to something marked take one and says, can I take this? Wow. You guys have been through the ringer with cons, huh? All right, let's figure out what we're going to do for the shadow, and then I'm going to talk more about conventions. I think we want to do like a reddish shadow. Like this is good. All right, so we're going to try to quote unquote paint in the shadows. Wish me luck. Like this is not my forte here. We're out of our element just a tad. So we're missing a critical piece to all this, and that is the glove. You had a sketch box that said $5 and up, and I've never had a problem until C2E2 when everyone thought every sketch was $5. Yeah, that'll happen. We were talking about like the things that people do when you're at the table that come up to you. Like a lot of... So I was selling Rick and Morty trade paperbacks, and they were kind of at a high price point. And I thought I was going to move more of them than I did. And I think the reason that I didn't was because... Whoa. We good? Yeah, I think the reason that I didn't was because... Is this even... Are we even darker? This is just like redder. Let's fix this. Maybe we should do highlights first? We're kind of darker. Yeah, I mean, we're darker in the lighter parts, but we're not really darker in the dark parts. Maybe we should do highlights first. Let's set it to screen. And fill it with like a green. Yeah. So we're kind of just painting stuff in. You have no idea how to make it more clear except to remove the sign entirely and replace it with ask for a price. Yeah. So there's a thing that happens at cons with like clarity. Like I was walking around... This is kind of a disaster, by the way. Like, I really want to just fold into what I normally do, but I'm going to try not to. We're going to try to use this as like a placeholder. I mean, maybe I should be... Maybe I should be using a different kind of brush. Bear with me while I figure this out. Maybe it's less about like shape dynamics and more about like increase the minimum diameter and try to figure out pressure. Where is that? Is that just in brush tip shape? No. This is going to take forever to figure out. Opacity jar, there it is. Pen pressure, there we go. Okay. So we should be able to like literally paint highlights. Okay, all right. I see this. I see where it's going. We're figuring it out. Let's change this green to like a blue, a very light blue. And then let's see how that very light blue does on everything. Yeah, okay. I wonder if we could just like copy and paste the mask and like invert it and set it to multiply on like another layer. We're gonna figure it out. So yeah, when I was walking around, so if you've ever been to a Comic-Con, there's a lot of people, your favorite convention thing, and you don't know why this I don't know if this happens to men, is when you're standing behind a table full of things with all your name on it, all the same art style, and a badge with your name on it, and dudes will come up and ask, so is this all yours? Did you do all this? Yeah, I tabled once next to Joelle Jones, and she got that shit, like, probably like 4 or 5 times. She got the very insulting, did your boyfriend do this? That happened. She got the very insulting, you did this all by yourself, which, wow. And I'm sure that these people aren't thinking about what they're saying before they're saying it, but they should. But they should. So, I mean, like, yeah, I do have people that come up. I think because, like, I'm a colorist, people don't know exactly, like, what I do. They, like, come up and they're like, so did you write all these? And I'm like, says colorist on the sign. Like, but that's okay. I know that a lot of people there are, like, fans of every level, so I try to be as patient as possible. And I think that you should probably be as patient as possible, too. You at home. At any rate, I know it can be frustrating because, you know, fans might not necessarily know exactly what we're doing. So at any rate, so I'm gonna kind of like, I don't know if this is going to be successful, and I don't know if this is going to be not successful because of the technique that I'm trying to figure out, or if it's not going to be successful because we're working over pencils and like low res, but we're gonna figure it out. So one of the things that I get asked what my name is a fair amount, even though, you know, I'm standing in front of a giant banner that has it on there very clearly. Yeah. So we're kind of alluding to a point that, like, I wanted to make, which was, like, clarity is huge at conventions. Like, you want to answer as many questions at a glance. And what I'm talking about is not like, oh, somebody who stands in front of your booth will see everything in 20 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. Like, I'm talking like when I walk down like the aisles and like look for stuff, I can tell if I want to look further in like 5 seconds, maybe less. And so your booth has to reflect that. Like, your booth has to look like it's going to, be worth the person's time. We're going to try doing a multiply layer now. maybe a red. Oh. That cool Photoshop update that makes me hit enter. All right. Yeah, so your booth has to communicate that stuff very, very quickly. Random question. Is there any specific pencil you use for rendering? I always try using it on some of my stuff, but it looks very textured. You mean like within Photoshop? I just use like this. We just went through it. Like this is just like a regular kind of pressure sensitive brush. I think that if you start to get bogged down in like I got to use the right brush, you might be focusing on the wrong things. And I say that only because like I was focused. I feel like it's easier to get focused on that stuff early in your career. A lot of very skilled people only use like the regular brushes, and like when you're starting, there's so much like overwhelming stuff that I feel like if you narrow into a handful of things that work for you, that'll work a little better for you, because then you'll have less options and you'll be focused more on the color and the end result. That said, I do think that the only way to find exactly what works for you is to do things all the time forever. To just be doing this every day. And by the way, so I had a really, really tough week yesterday as far as this red is bad, but we're going to try to not focus on the red. We're going to try to focus on just the mark making. I had a really long week. I had like 2 books double ship, and then I had a thing that I had to get out before Comic-Con, and I tried to do the sketchbook challenge last night, and nothing was coming, and I realized I hadn't sketched in like a week, and I was like, oh, I had a tough week yesterday. So I had a tough week for 3 weeks. I had a tough week for like 20 days. Is that a week? I can't tell anymore. Everything's awry. So I kind of realized that like, oh, I really do have to be sketching every day, because like I will lose it if I don't use it. So yeah. We are going to mark up this wall. I kind of want to do this like fade thing on Nightwing. We're like super painterly, by the way, right now. Man, De Niro's cutting him bad. So yeah, you want to be able to like before you even set up your booth, before you even think about what you're doing with your booth, my advice to you is like figure out what you want to sell and how you're going to sell it. And like really, man, this is man, I feel like I'm not quite getting it. We're going to use a little textured brush. And then we're going to kind of do this, like kind of like blend it a little bit. And Jim kind of put like a weird light source in here that's like half on Nightwing and half on the wall. It's kind of like just a pillar of light. So you had a tough week for the entire month of May somehow, so I feel you. Yeah. So yeah, you want to communicate exactly what your booth is selling to the person in under 5 seconds. So when I was walking through the artist alley, and MegaCon actually has a lot of it's kind of like, it's very like crafty, like people are selling like they took a still from Avengers and then they like wood burned it, and anybody who knows Comic-Cons is aware of this, and then like wood burned it into a piece of wood and they're selling that, and like then somebody's making like crochet Loki characters, and they have like all the characters, they have like every single thing, and there's a level of like you hit a point where you have so much stuff that it's like so overwhelming that like I just don't even want to deal, you know. And you're hoping, I get the technique, because like you're hoping that someone will come along and be like, see your Tracer Overwatch and be like, oh, Tracer, that's my favorite character, I'm gonna get that print. And if that's what you're doing, if that's what you want to do, like, keep doing it. If you're like, I just want to make money at this show, I just want to sell prints, more power to you. So this is the advantage of working this way. You can kind of go in and change the lighting as you so desire. Like we could change this to like a straight up red. And we can get some color matches that like I don't normally get. Like a lot of times with color, I find that I kind of fall into like what works, and I feel like if I branched out a little bit, we might start doing stuff that, like, as far as technique goes, branched out a little bit in technique, we might start getting some like weird combinations that might work pretty well. I mean, maybe we don't even need, maybe this is like bogging it down. So yeah, if you're like, what I'm doing at this booth is selling images of every character, do it up. But like when I went to the con, I was like, I'm here to move books. Like, I have a ton of variants, I have a ton of trades, like I want to get them out of my house and into your hands, and I want to make new fans and, like, you know, make long-term fans. Like, I don't want to sell a Tracer print and then move on. I don't want to get your like $10, $20 whatever for the print and then like be like, I got mine, we're done. Like, what I want to do is like facilitate a good fan experience for you. I want to sign your books, and if you're interested in buying something, I want to sign that book for you. I want to create a situation that is like, we do this, we're doing this to like get a fan for life kind of thing. Like, that's what I'm interested in. And so like, while my way might not be the most, I don't know, like the most, I might not make the most money by doing this. And the other thing is like, I get a little uncomfortable about like, not about making prints that like aren't my characters, because like something else you want to think about if you are going to be tabling is like, your table reflects you. And it's like, if your goal is like, I want to work at Marvel and DC, look at all the Marvel and DC characters, that's fine, but like, don't panic, Matt Garvey's here. But like, I just feel like what I want to do is kind of like focus you into like being a fan of me and not necessarily a fan of Marvel, you know, per se. I want you to enjoy the experience that you had at my booth and be like, Nick Flaherty's a cool guy, I'm going to check him out. I'm going to check out his books. Not like exclusively Marvel books, but just like give anything like a watch and check it out. So I don't know if I'm necessarily doing this technique right, but we're doing something. That's what's happening, is something. This is I'm just like layer upon layer, because I'm like, I don't know how to tweak it from here. So you want to no conlergy. I don't know what that means. So yeah, like when you think about like what you want the table to do, I think that's an important that's important to think about. Um, and then from there, you can kind of like pick to what you want the table to look like. So if I'm not interested in moving prints, and I'm interested in moving books, and then it was like, okay, well, allergy is illness. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. That's the other thing is, I did forget my Purell, which I normally bring to a show, and I had a very nice fan come up to me, and he actually gave me one of the books in the MegaCon thing, the Elsewhere book, which is really great. I posted, for anyone who's just joining me, I posted a video on YouTube about, this is all turning very like mushy, by the way. I don't like that. Very like non-committal highlights. I made a video of like all the stuff that I got from Comic-Con, and he actually gave me one, and he was like, "Hey, I'm a big fan. You know, like, here's my book that's coming out. I thought you might like it. We did like a little convention preview, and I thought it was awesome." But he was like coughing into his hand while he was there, and then he shook my hand, and then I was like, I gotta get to a bathroom. No offense if you're out there watching. I just like, everybody's shaking everybody's hand all the time, and so it's like, and I do so many of these cons a year that I'm like, oh, I gotta fix this. Dude, you were sanitizing constantly, that con crud. Yeah. Yeah, it's nobody's fault. It's just like everybody's shaking everybody's hand constantly. You get sick one time, and you will take all the precautions from there on out. This is turning out all right. I feel like I'm just gonna keep working this until we work it into the ground. So yeah, you want to think about your table. You want to think about how you set up. You want to bring Purell. You want to bring Post-its so that you can easily mark things. And you want to think about what you're making. So like, I didn't bring all my books. What I brought was Cave Carson, The Realm, and a little bit of Rick and Morty. And the little bit of Rick and Morty is basically to get people to the table because it's super recognizable and everybody knows what it is. Oh, look at weird googly-eyed Nightwing. So yeah, I feel like you want to consider that stuff. Pass me your elbow, I need to cough. I know, I wish everybody would cough into their... I know. My fiance's mother runs a like daycare kind of place for sick kids for the hospital, and she says to tell them all to remember to do the Dracula, meaning you throw your cape over your shoulder and then you cough. Always be Dracula. So I don't mind this Nightwing, but this isn't as easy, or as, I mean, maybe I'm just like entrenched in my own techniques, but it feels like this was more difficult than it necessarily needed to be. Maybe I won't be adopting this kind of technique. I don't know. Let's noodle on the face a little bit. You were next to your Oni Rock and North brother, Mark Ellerbray. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Rock and North even? Yeah. This is why we all need to start wearing capes again. Exactly. So, yeah, like a lot of these booths that I was walking up to, I was like, if I can't tell exactly what you're doing in like 5 seconds, I'm just gonna move on. Like, I'm looking for like people who are passionate about their little mini comics that they're making. I'm not looking for prints of Tom Huddleston or Tom Middleton. I don't even know, the Loki actor. You know what I mean? So, and I guess people like that a little bit, but like the stuff that I ended up picking up is like weird comics from like people who are interested in doing weird comics, and like I'm interested in getting more from them in the future. Like one of the things that I got was Gut Ghost, and I'm very excited about more Gut Ghost. You just picked up the first realm trade? Awesome. I actually ended up selling all my realm trades. Here's another thing you should do, by the way. Figure out what you are, what you're bringing, and then keep track. Like, keep a tally going of like everything that you're selling, because Gut Ghost is awesome. Yeah, it is awesome. But anyway, yeah, you gotta keep track of this stuff, because like, you know, I sold all the Heartthrob trades that I brought with me. And I could have sold probably like 2 more pretty easily. Like 1 for sure. I could have sold 1 for sure. But I could have sold 2 more pretty easily. And I have no idea how many I started with. That's like something I'm going to try to fix in the future, is like remembering you know, exactly how many of something I'm bringing, and try to keep a tally of it. Like, because I don't know how many bring to Heroes. I don't know, like, if I had data on Heroes, I would know how many to bring. But like, Heroes is also a show that features like a lot of like original art rather than you know, book sales. So like, I don't know how I do at every hero. So I'm gonna start, like, I've got just like a little notepad, and I'm just gonna like throw it in the backpack. And then when I set up, I'm gonna be like, okay, we got all right, Sally, thanks for coming in and hanging out. Inventory sheets are key. Yes. And then, so like when I sit down, I'm going to be like, okay, I got X amount of these, X amount of these, X amount of these. I'm going to see what's sold, you know? And then at the end be like, all right, I got like none left of this. I've got 1 left of this, you know, figure out like what's going on. These are like little things that I feel like everybody should do 100%. But like so many people, I know that this seems like, of course you should do inventory. Of course you should label things properly. But so many people, I had a buddy who didn't label anything on his table. All the prints kind of like went all together. And like, this is the first show he did in a long time. So like, he just wasn't used to doing shows. And it was like, dude, you gotta let the prints breathe a little bit. You need verticality so that people can see from like walking in the aisle what the print is. And then like, all the prints need to be clearly labeled so that like, you know, you have prices on them. He borrowed some Post-its like halfway through, and I'm like, yeah, man, let's do it. You need it. Like, it's all good. You printed off tally sheets. It does work. Yeah. Like, it'll inform how many books you expect to sell for future shows. The reason that I wanted to sing the praises of tally sheets is because like, when I start to do sell Curse of the Iron Chef minis, like, I basically have no idea what those are gonna like, sales wise, what those are gonna do. Like, because I'm a colorist and that's what people know from me, and I don't know how many people are going to be willing to take a chance. Is it 1 in 10? Is it 5 in 10? I have no idea. So you had 7 different comics on my table. If you're honest, it was 1 too many. Yeah, so this is the thing. When you were like, okay, I'm going to move comics, what am I going to move? you need to be able to be like, I'm moving specifically these things. If you have 7 different types of comics on your table, then like nobody kind of like, there's no like easily jumping on point. Like the way sorry, 7 titles, 12 individual comics. Yeah, that's fine. 7 titles, 12 comics. Like I had probably like around 12 comics, but it was just The Realm, Cave Carson, Rick and Morty. And then like I had a couple Helheims and a couple Heartthrobs like that were left over that were in the bag. And I feel like, by the way, I don't know if this is entirely successful, but I am kind of liking how it's turning out. I don't know if the technique is successful for this Nightwing, but yeah, I am kind of enjoying how it's turning out. Maybe we do need to do this in the future. Who knows? The thing about like all this stuff is that, oh, that's what that green looks like over the whole thing. That's kind of neat, actually. What if we change the green? He's very like, I'm Nightwing of the Emerald Isle right now. Change the green to like a purple or like a blue. You stop bringing everything to shows? Yeah, too many options breeds paralysis. 100%. First issues sell so much better than follow-ups. Yeah, I had Cave Carson Volume 2, and I didn't have any Cave Carson Volume 1, and like those Volume 2 trades were really hard to sell. They were like, you know, as much as people love Cave Carson, people were buying variants before they were buying the Volume 2 because they were like, well, do you have Volume 1? And I'm like, no. And they're like, all right. I actually marked them down a little bit and sold a few that way. And I actually had one person, this was very sweet, with 2 very shy daughters. And Cave Carson at its heart is like a father-daughter like bonding book. And the daughters were kind of interested, and the dude picked it up, and then he tracked down the Volume 1 on the show floor and came back to the booth and had me sign it. So I hope that wherever you are out there that you are enjoying the book. It was very sweet. I gotta say, by the way, not only will cons kind of like fill the tank as far as like, you know, give you kind of like an emotional point for you to jump off of, as far as like, you know, I'm excited about comics again, but like, and you know, your peers will push you and things like that. But there's also like these really great fan moments. Like a couple of people came up to me and were like, oh, I Twitter stalk you, or I watch you on your YouTube page, which is great because sometimes it feels like I'm screaming into the void. So yeah, it was a good thing. I feel like if you're a creator who's not going to Comic Cons, you should probably rethink that. Let's try something. I kind of want to do like a... Whoa. So the problem here is that there is like so much there's so much mark making happening in this line art that I'm trying to like highlight the side of Nightwing, and it's kind of all over the place. And I think that it's like low res as well, so it's a little tough to... This is going to be a little tough to do. The void screams back. Yeah. Yeah. You find that people are asking for follow-ups to issue ones that sold out last show. Yeah, man, you gotta take that tally. You gotta understand like what people are buying. It's tough. It's work. Is what it is. Is this... No, that's not good. None of this is good. None of this is good. I mean, maybe we should just be... like throw it in the highlight layer. Yeah, so it's nice to know that, like, I'm not just yelling into the void, and like people are actually listening or watching or whatever. Um I mean, I know I can see all of you there. Heroes is indeed a rough show for book sales. Yeah. So I struggle with Heroes because, like, I really love it, but I tend to like shy away from doing marker renderings on sketches, and I feel like that's what that show is. And I don't really do prints anymore. Maybe I should be doing prints, but like also feel like the bottom kind of fell out of the print game. Like I don't see a lot of prints moving as well. I don't know. It feels weird to me. So like I never know what to bring to Heroes. Like I feel like Heroes is just like, I love Heroes and I will do Heroes till the day I die, but like I never make money. Like if I want to make money, I got to like rethink what I'm doing essentially. I'm going to call this. I don't know if it's good. We might need to like try we might need to try to do this same kind of technique a little bit better, in a little bit of a better way, with like better line art. No offense, Jim Lee, just this is very low res. If you're watching, Jim, big fan. Because like as it is right now, I feel like maybe I'm getting bogged down too much by like the low resolution. It's so packed full of talent. It's such a hard time to not want to go, but financially it's always a loser. Yeah. See, it hasn't been financially a loser for me when I've done marker renderings. Like I feel like if you have, and I also feel like, hey Vibrant Graphite, I feel like if you also are running mini comics, like little stapled together stuff, I feel like people are super receptive to that. If you're like starting out, if you're like an indie guy, oh my god, I gotta color like single pixel. I don't know if I'm gonna post this up on Twitter and Instagram because I don't know how it turned out. I'm kind of medium overall on the product. Somebody actually asked me at the show, they were like, so what do you do when something doesn't turn out good? And I'm like, we document the struggle because the struggle is real. And I think that's what's happening right now. Let's put a little bit of, yeah, for sure. Put a little bit of splatter in there just for a little bit of texture. Some particles in the air. You were lucky enough to have a chat with Jeff Darrow all the way over to UK from the States, and he barely sold anything. He said people who come to his table just want to have a chat with him. Yeah, you have a stream work channel for Discord. If you're not proud, you don't have to put it on Twitter. Yeah, exactly. If you want to check the actual like resolution of this guy, you should check it out on the Discord. Which, by the way, you should join the Discord. We hang out there. We talk comics all day. I ghosted a little bit on the weekend because I was doing the show, but other than that, like I'm on there all day. And I'm gonna get a Kirby page flatted, and I think we're gonna do that next. But part of the reason why this had to be an art stream is because well, this is the thing that's unsuccessful. I think that what's happening on this is like we need to work the face, and like the resolution's too low and it's in pencil, and so we're not really given the opportunity to really work the face at all. I think that's part of the problem. Don't look at me. Yeah. So yeah, I think that we need to you saw it. Okay. So yeah, I think we need to like kind of figure out like what we're going to be doing. Like I think if this was higher res, I think we'd figure out what we were doing a little bit better. So I don't think it's quite as successful. Like I think that like just like this is too muddy. But because it's so low res, like I can't really pop the eyes. I can't really like get in there and like fix it. So yeah, I don't know. Plus like I don't know. Maybe this is cool that we can like change all this, but I mean, if let's mess around with this just a little bit. Yeah, so like what I'm saying is not that this is bad, but that it could be better, and so we are slightly unsuccessful. And we could drop saturation a little bit. Maybe change the blue. Okay, all this is bad. Yeah. So if you want to check it out, we're gonna put it in the Discord. But what we have coming up, yeah, you should do the res and treat it like a painting instead of line art. That's a different exercise. You also have a Nightwing without a butt shot. It's doomed to disappoint. You're not wrong. Exercise. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna drop this in the Discord, but let me kick it back over to the main cam. Hey, we're gonna be doing a portfolio review next. Black Mule gave us a portfolio forever ago, and he or she has been infinitely patient with it. So we're gonna be doing that next. I'm sweating like a dog over here. Yeah, we're going to be doing that next. So you're going to want to tune in for that. I feel like I talked about the con a little bit, but I might have more to say at some point. We're going to be scanning some Kirby pages. I got to find a good one to scan. Kirby pages are wild because like they are the most boring layouts with the most interesting stuff in them. And then on top of that, Randall. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Black Mule is named Randall. All right, we're gonna be doing Randall's portfolio. We're gonna put him on the path. It's gonna be great. You guys are gonna learn something. Liar dogs don't sweat. Yeah. Like a nun in church, I'm sweating. Or I don't know, a Satanist in church. I don't know. All my metaphors are bad. I apologize. But yeah, the thing about Kirby work is that like he also did a lot of panels that are just like heads with balloons, you know? So like I was trying to find like a really good page because I don't want to like phone it in. I want to give you something you don't want to see. Like we want to go big Kirby, you know? So I'm working on it. I got to find the right page, send it to the flatter because I don't want to flat it myself. And we'll figure out how to do it. So all that stuff's coming up this week, and then over the weekend we won't be streaming, of course, but I should be back at some point next week, depending on everything that happens over the weekend, buddy. So yeah, tune in for that. Until then, everyone, keep making comics. I'll see you then.